1 minute after the hour. So we're just going to dive in here. And even before recognition, because I'm like buzzing around right now. But I was out with a few friends like over the weekend, and they were like, Lauren, like you always have a lot of energy, but like how many freaking energy drinks have you had today? I'm like, none. And they're like, you are like a gazillion miles an hour. And it's true. Like there's so many things going through my head that I'm excited about. So even before I go into recognition, because that's just going to fire me up even more, can you guys put one word in the chat to describe how you felt when you got the congratulations, you have been paid email, either over the weekend or today? I know direct deposit hits on Saturday for some people, but we got the email today. Like, just write in the chat for me one word when you were like, wait, what? Like, I know Erica was on like this amazing like road trip all through Utah and New Mexico. She came to my state. She didn't say hi to me. Just kidding. We were actually not even close to each other. But and to think that she came back and like is earning a multiple six-figure income, that she can do that with her family because of her consistency over the last few years and her time blocking. I mean, it's amazing, right? I mean, I had this gentleman email me earlier today that was basically thinking he was going to push out his auto ship, and then he got paid. He was like, and I needed stuff so bad. Like I was so grateful that I could just go in and like get my products paid for. So if you guys can just write one word, what that was, I think that'd be a great way to get our call going tonight. Also, if you're missing some team members, give them a little nudge, just be like, get your butt on the call, you late. But we're gonna start with team wins recognition, you guys. And first of all, brand new Crystal Director, Kat Karate, congratulations. Brand new Crystal Manager, Emily Cranston. And brand new managers, Teresa Perez and Catherine Guifrey. I'm so sorry that I'm butchering that. That's amazing. Can we just talk about some top enrollers here? Carla Amicons, is she on the call? Is she on here, you guys? 15 enrollments. What? That is like 2 a day. You are amazing. Julie Hart, 12 enrollments. Ann White, 7 enrollments. Melinda Marie, 6 enrollments. Kimberly Stefanke, 5 enrollments. Felicia DeFreen, Holly Kirsch, Brandy Brokaw, all 4 new enrollments. Eileen Winnick, Maureen Mallon, Erica Rothenberger, Kristen McCorkle, Jolie O'Byron, Larissa Allen, and Jamie Jo Durham, all 3 enrollments. You guys are amazing. Congratulations. We are going to pop right in here to our Dreamers in Action recognition. We have a brand new 1-star Golden Circle 1-star Crystal Executive, Stephanie Dunn. Brand new Crystal Executive, Angela Godber. Brand new consultant, Melissa Musgrave, Tina Burns, Wendy Willison. You guys are amazing. Our very top enroller last week, Kathy Drenick. Are you on the call? You guys, she is incredible. Talk about someone working into the 11th hour last night. Keith Laurie, Jenny Thompson, Laura Laurie, Keisa Maxwell, Reese Catherine, Emily Sutherland, Melissa Gibbs, Sunny Hop, Stephanie Dunn, Sheila Sands, Melissa Musgrave, Tina Burns, Michelle Mitchell, Angela Godberg, Ebas Nadnin, Jules Hanson, Kimberly Howe, and Anna Barthman. You guys are our top enrollers. Amazing, amazing. Congratulations. So we are going to chat just a teeny bit about celebration. And first of all, if you have been to celebration in the past, like you've seen Eric come out and do the crazy dance, share the shot, the fireworks have gone off, put a 2 in the chat. If you've seen that and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember, the first time I saw that, and we're all gonna like share the shot and do the wave. Like if you have seen that, all right, so we have a lot of people. Now, if you have never been to celebration and you're like, what is the share the shot wave? And I've never seen Eric Hoover come out and dance like a crazy person, put a 3 in the chat. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, like we're talking about celebration and you've never been to an event. All right, so we have a pretty split group here, right? Of like people who've been to an event, people who have not. So Isagenix literally, I think, puts on the best events. I've been to a lot of sales events, like I've been to other network marketing events, not because I've been in a company, but because someone brought me to one, and our events are incredible. Our events change everything. We used to tell people that if you could get one person to an event, it would change your business by like $1,000 for the year. So I remember thinking, wait, 10 people to an event, I get a $10,000 raise. I mean, that was like the power of the events. And a lot of it is belief. A lot of it is seeing people that look like you, that have the same background as you, and saying, I can do that. If that person can do that, I can do that. A lot of it is fun. A lot of it is the culture, the community, you know, and just being able to get off our phones and off the computer and like connect and high five and hug each other. And so now it's going to make more sense when I was like, I'm having this feeling like, oh my gosh, I get to hug Kari and I get to hug Laura, you know, and Stephanie's going to be here. But then I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to see team win. You know, like this is so weird because I love Adrian and Hannah and Holly and all these people, you know. But here's what I will tell you. I know that Jessica and Adrian have so many things in the works and how hard they're planning, along with all their leaders to make it extraordinary. We are going to do the same thing in Denver. You know, Jess and I were chatting earlier today and we're like, oh my gosh, we've probably never been so grateful for Isogenics and all that they have done because we are not event planners. She goes, I think I'd rather sit on a Zoom call and cast the vision all day long than like, you know, shop for swag bags. And I laugh because we're so similar with that. But the point being, these are going to be really special. That some of the things that I want to share with you, whether you are going to watch this virtually, right? You're at home and you block off Friday night and Saturday day and you're watching on your own, or you're traveling to the Jersey Shore to be, you know, at Adrian's house, or you're traveling to Denver to be at our event, right? There are some things that are going to be the same that affect every single one of us. And so the first thing I want to tell you is like, how are you going to get the most out of this event? So if we were going to be in Park City, where it was supposed to be before, you know, this thing called COVID, if we were going to go to Park City, you wouldn't bring your kids, right? You just wouldn't. You would have to get childcare cover, you know, and you would go to this event, you would get on a plane, and you would have, you know, a bunch of people in a hotel room, and you would go to the event and you would sit in the training. But sometimes for those of you that are at home, it's like, okay, I'll just like play it in the background. There is amazing training. I mean, you are learning from some of the best in the company that I want you to just kind of ask yourself, how committed are you? You know, and if you are wanting this business to be a hobby and you want to really treat it like super part-time, then do that and let it play in the background and cook dinner and kind of check out and drink, you know, Friday night during it. And then don't be sad at New Year's kickoff when your business is in the exact same place, right? When you're like, what are they talking about? What are they doing? Why is everybody doing this? And things are not shifting for me, right? But if you can treat this like a business and say, you know what, my family deserves this. Like I'm going to make some time and I'm going to sacrifice a little bit to really invest and give back to my family and invest back to my team. It is 3 hours on Friday night. Do y'all know what you have done on any Friday night for 3 hours at any given time that did not serve you, that did not get you closer to your goals, right? I mean, I'm equally guilty of that, but to say, you know what, I can get a babysitter for 3 hours. I can leave, I can go somewhere and really just be present. And the same thing on Saturday morning. You know, we're going to make it fun. If I told you right now that mimosas were not going to be a thing on Saturday morning, I would be lying to you, right? Like this is part of this business, is that it's fun and it's not stressful, but we really want you to get the most out of it. So if you're tuning in from home or you're going to be with people, like say, you know what, as fun as this is and as much of a social thing as it's going to be, and I'm going to build these relationships and hang out with people and hear everybody's stories, that this is a commitment to where you can go, right? It's not where you are right now, it's where we're going. And it's really that launch pad to the next level. The second thing I want to tell you is surround yourself with hot molecules. If you guys have never read the book, and Jess, I know she's driving back. She had to get her daughter from her summer job again, so I know she's in the car. But if you guys have never read the book, The Energy Bus, like I remember when we read that together. But there's a saying about an energy vampire. Without even having to describe that to you, you guys know what that is, right? Like you're like, oh my gosh, and then you hang out with someone and you're like, what? Like they just like suck the life out of you, and you kind of got to pick yourself back up. Right? I mean, we are all so excited to hug each other, to celebrate each other. There's amazing recognition that's happening and to cheer each other on. But I cannot encourage you enough to hang out with high vibing people, right? People that make you feel good, people that are going to add value to you, people that are going to lift you up, people that are excited. If you show up, right, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I haven't enrolled anybody in a while and I haven't rank advanced and it's really hard right now. Well, guess what? You're going to see more of that. But if you are going into that like, oh my gosh, I get to hang out with all these people and people I don't know, and they get to teach me what they're doing, and I get to be inspired and learn and grow, you're going to get a lot more of that. And so I encourage you to think about if people could put a color out of them, right? Like if you could literally put a color on an emotion. Don't write these in the chat, right? But if you could picture someone who was like energetic and fun and happy and glowy, right? Whatever color you think that would be. And then think about the color of someone who would be like the energy vampire, right? And the complainers, or the people that just want to, be miserable, and misery likes company, right? What color is that? Seek out the other color, right? Just make sure you are finding the colors that vibrate of the energy you want to be around, and the energy that is really attracted in this business. The other thing I want to tell you about that is, a lot of times I think when people get to be around leaders, or they hear Isogenics millionaire or six-figure income earner or something, they're like intimidated, right? Like we get in our head and it's like, oh my gosh, I can never talk to Holly. She's #2 leader in action. I can't talk to, Ann, like that's so intimidating. They know everything and they're gorgeous. Don't do that. They want to help you. We are all on one team, right? Honestly, be grateful that you have people like that can show you, that can mentor you, that can give you ideas. And I'm going to tell you a story. And Jessica will remember this if she's on the call. When we won ISO Derby, this was back in 2014. It was our very first trip. Jessica and I were #1 and #2 for the contest, and it was in St. Thomas. And I was significantly heavier at the time. I was single. And we were upgraded to these like crazy suites in St. Thomas. And I literally was going by myself. I wasn't dating anybody, and I was weird. I couldn't take someone from my team. I didn't want to be unfair. And like none of my best friends could go. And I had all this noise in my head. Like I was like, I can't go, you guys. Like I don't want to go because Emily Vavra is going to be there, and Zach and Eden Slobin are going to be there, and the Norries are going to be there. And I was like so in my head that I wasn't deserving of being there. Literally the night before, I almost didn't go, right? And Janny and Jess were like, are you crazy? Like you have earned this. Like they want to know what you are doing. They're trying to figure out how you have, 1,000 points or whatever for this contest. Like this is the trip of a lifetime. You better go. And I remember holding on. Denise, if you're on this call, you're going to laugh too. Like literally not even wanting to be in my room. I pretty much was just with Jess and Denise because I was such this like insecure little person. I was like, just don't ditch me. Like, don't make me go show up places by myself and go with me. And I was like hiding behind Jess's shoulder. And Jess was this interviewing machine. Like she sought out all these people that were like the isogenic celebrities as we came in, and she'd be like, well, what do you do? What do you do? What are you posting? What's working for you? What contests are you doing? And tell me this, and next. And I remember just thinking like, oh my gosh, she's like rapid fire aim in like drilling these people. We left St. Thomas unstoppable. Like I was like, oh my gosh, we just got the best tips from Emily Vavra, from Renee Schreibman, from the Slovens, from Eric Hoover. And I just remember watching her. And Jess had a different background from me, before network marketing. And I just thought that's how you do an event. Like everybody in Isogenics wants to help. Everybody wants to support you. So when you go, right, and you sit there and you think like, oh my gosh, how did Jackie Kirby rank advance 4 times or whatever happened, since the beginning of the year? Spend time with her. Tell me what you're doing. Do you have a few minutes to show me what messages you're sending out? Could you give me a few tips on what Facebook messages are working really well for you? Like what posts are working out? How are you reaching out to people? Whatever that may be. And you can learn so much. The best part, I truly, truly believe, of what we get to do, the products are amazing. Of course, the compensation plan will change all of our lives, but the pure richness, like the greatest gem, I believe in Isogenics, is our friendships. It's the culture, it's the community. And so spend time locking arms with people that can encourage you, that can see greatness in you, and that want to help you, that want to share exactly what you're doing. I shared an incredible audacious goal with Jess today, and she immediately said, oh my gosh, this is what Erica did. This is what Holly did. This is what you should go do, and this is what we do in this company. We always want to share. We always want to lift everybody up. Okay. And so I encourage you to spend time with people, literally asking questions. Just put on your Jessica Rigner hat, right? Be ready to go interview people, walk around with a notebook, voice record, whatever you have to do, and say, I'm going to this event to come out better than when I got there. If I learned one thing, if I learned 10 things, but whatever it is that you need. If you think you post on social media like a boss, don't ask how to post on social media, and don't hang out with people that have that same skill set. If you can enroll like a boss and you know that you've enrolled 20 people in the last 2 months, but you have 0 consultants, don't hang out with just top recruiters. Talk to the people who went director, talk to the people that went executive, find out how they're getting their people paid, ask them tips on what they're doing to develop, because we all do this differently. So the first thing I said is when I was talking about how to get the most out of it, right, is like treating this like your business, right? The second, when we're talking about hanging out with hot molecules in that energy, because everywhere you go, remember that we are a magnet. And the law of attraction doesn't know good from bad. It's just what you're focusing on. So if you're hanging out with high vibrating people and that's the energy you're putting out, people want to be a part of it. And you're going to literally show up to people, or they're going to show up to you in the process, because it's like magnetic when we get together. Now, if you're hanging out with people that are vibrating a different tune, it's going to be a different scenario. Okay. So when I tell you opportunity is everywhere, if you guys don't know the story, I'll tell it to you briefly. But Erica and Jessica, on their way to Maui Top Achievers, met Holly Kirsch at freaking baggage claim, right? They happen to be staying at the same hotel, but that first conversation was at baggage claim. So when we tell you that there is opportunity everywhere, and you start to put pieces of the stories together of Isagenix leaders and where they met, Janny sat next to Kelly Dickerhoof on a plane. Many of you are traveling. I want you to start to just think about the new people you get to come in contact with, right? That you get to cross paths with, that you get to radiate that amazing color of excitement and energy and opportunity and hope. And who are you talking to and how are you showing up, right? So you're going to be in an Uber or a Lyft, more than likely. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to take an Uber or a Lyft or a shuttle, if you're not renting a car, right? You're going to get on a plane. You're probably going to sit by someone on either the left or the right, if not both people. You might order a coffee. You get to talk to that person who gives you a coffee, right? You're probably going to check in at a hotel. So you get to talk to the bellman. You get to talk to housekeeping. You get to talk to the concierge when you're asking about what to go do. There are people everywhere. I want you to think about what you do and how do you describe what you do. And for those of you that are seasoned leaders like Laura or Erica, Holly, Jess, Denise, I want you to write in the chat right now, what do you say when someone says, what do you do? Okay, because I want you guys to be able to screenshot some of these. I want you to be able to get some of this verbiage so that when I am flying, hypothetically, I'm flying, they're all coming here. But if I was going to get on a plane, right, I'm coming to the Jersey Shore and I sit next to, Danielle on the plane and I'm like, hey, how are you? And she's like, oh, I'm taking my family to the Jersey Shore. I've always wanted to go. I've never been. And she says, what are you doing? I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to meet my team. I'm part of this amazing health and wellness company. We're finally getting together. Like, what is it that you want to say? Or if I'm going to this amazing conference, I'm so excited. And they say, what do you do? Right? Like, what do you do? And I want you to think about something so that you're not like, I have collagen and you can make a lot of money. And what's your number so I can send you a link, right? Like, don't do that, right? We don't want you to do that. I want you to be prepared in the same way they said, what do you do? You say, oh, I'm a massage therapist. What do you do? I'm a nutritionist. What do you do? I work in oil and gas. What do you do? You help transform physical bodies and bank accounts. What do? You show people how to open up a virtual franchise with the #1 leading market disrupting marine collagen product. You show, like, what do you do, right? I want you guys to put some things in there so that you are prepared for that. I'm not a huge fan typically of sample bags, right? Like, I think that would be weird sometimes if I just went everywhere and someone gave me a sample of things. And I never used to do it with the shake because it's too thin, too thick, too sweet, not sweet enough, whatever. The collagen, it's a great sample. So I would encourage you guys to get those cute little bags, put a business card in it, put a collagen sample in there, maybe put a little Ice of Delight in it, and be walking, fairy dusting, collagen dropping bottle deliveries. Like, you're going to meet people that are like, oh my gosh, we're here for this amazing conference. Have you heard of it? It's incredible. Here, try it. Right? Like, if you don't have a bunch of little sample bags ready to be excited, if you don't have business cards, I can just tell you're not that serious about this. Right? Because you're going to be out, you're going to be taking pictures. People are going to be like, what are you girls all doing? What are you here for? Is it a bachelorette party? Is it a birthday party? You're like, no, we're here for our company. It's amazing. We're always looking for people like you. Do keep your options open for additional streams of revenue, right? I mean, you've got to always be ready to connect and just have your eyes wide open that there are bartenders that are looking for additional streams of revenue. You gonna go out and eat? You gonna go out and drink? If there's any servers besides me, servers or bartenders on the call, put a 4 in the chat, okay? Like, I tell you, they're open to additional streams of revenue. Be willing to talk to them. Your Lyft drivers, your Uber drivers, your hotel concierge, right? No matter what it is, if you go and take a class, if you go work out, there's opportunity everywhere. And the last thing that I really wanna tell you is leave there with a plan. One of the best tips of advice that Hillary Courtney gave me at an event many, many, many moons ago. She said, if you leave this event and you don't already have 3 appointments set up, this was the most expensive girls' weekend of your life. And I was like, what? I was like, I just left. Like, I haven't even had a chance to get home yet. And I remember her telling me, she's like, if you don't have 3 appointments, like before you're at the airport, before you're on the plane, this was an expensive girls' weekend. You decide how important this was to you. And so I always just had this standard ever since she said that to me, that I have a calendar full of appointments before I leave the event. Because we're all going to pick up everybody's energy, right? You're going to hear Janelle's story. You're going to hear Barbara's story. You're going to hear Claire's story, Julie's story, Kari's story, all these people. And it builds belief of how many people are looking for this, that when you come back, your belief meter is off the charts, right? The possibility meter is off the charts, and your conviction and your excitement and your enthusiasm, that is the week to go talk to people, because they don't know what you're talking about. They just see that you're so excited and you're so passionate. They want to be around it. So in addition to having some of those appointments, like I would really encourage you guys right now, schedule a collagen and cocktails event for the week of the 2nd, for the week of the 8th. Schedule it now, right? Just already know for it. So when you've got some downtime at the event and you're super excited, you're like, I don't know if you've seen, but I'm in the Jersey Shore right now for this amazing event. When I get home, I'm doing this fun little tasting at my house. I would love to have you over and tell you more about it. Like, plan it right now. Don't go home in August 15th, figure out like, what are you doing? You're 2 weeks behind already, Emily and I have an event the Thursday after celebration, right? We've got our collagen and cocktails happy hour at a wine bar in Littleton. We planned this last week. So I want you to know, we're only telling you the things we're already going to do. Have your appointments, have an event if you're willing to do it. But honestly, if you have ever been to one of the Isagenix events, and for those of you that have not, we almost always leave the event with a 90-day game plan, right? They give us our little binder. Here's the 90-day game plan. Here's the action items. Jess and I both are like, let's go fast. You guys know, she just launched her amazing retreat. I've got a grand prize contest that I'm announcing on Friday night. And both of these are short time periods. We believe speed is sexy. We believe in going fast. We want hot molecules to grab onto other hot molecules, right? And you just got to go. If you go slow, it's exhausting, right? Who wants to rip off a Band-Aid one little arm hair at a time? Nobody, right? Like, you just got to rip it off and you got to go. You got to dive right into it. And so spend some time like being really clear with, what does the next 30 days look like? What does the next 60 days look like? Think about the goals that you're setting. Think about the rank you want to hit. How many people do you want to help? How many people do you want to rank advance? What trip are you saving for? What bill are you paying off? How much money do you need to make? Whatever that is, and have your schedule set. I mean, if you could honestly be that committed coming out of it to come home and tell your family your inclusive why, this is what we're doing. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm willing to give up for the next 30 days or 60 days. It would be absolutely incredible. And you're going to be leaps and bounds in front of everybody else. I mean, truly, truly, if you already know. So some of you are going executive. Some of you are going director. Some of you want to hit the 5-cycle bonus. Some of you are going 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, whatever that may be. But to say, what in, August and September can I give up? Maybe I go to a few less happy hours. Maybe you're not doing as long of workouts. You're doing more efficient workouts. Maybe you're giving up some of your TV time. Maybe you're getting up a little bit earlier in the morning. You're staying up a little later. What is it and how important is it? And what is that going to be? And in addition to setting those goals, in addition to having your work hours set, in an event or something, I think the best gift you can give yourself and your business is an accountability partner. Jess Rigner and I truly have been running mates for almost 8 years now, you guys, and there is nothing greater in the world than someone that will actually push you to be your best and not enable you. I have said this over and over. You guys, you have no idea how many times that I was like, oh my gosh, I need like double pibs, or I need this, and it like wasn't happening. And I was like, Jess, like, I don't know. She's like, how's it going? Where are you at? And I was like, I have 1 enrollment. Like, no one is getting back to me. And she literally never said, you're right. It's not going to happen this week. Go out, have a glass of wine, come back next week. Like, no, she's never said that. She's like, okay, where have you not gone? Can you call a Lyft driver right now? Is there anywhere you can go? Can you go hang out in the vitamin aisle at Whole Foods and start to talk to Buddy, right? Have you messaged this person? Have you talked to this person? Have you asked for an referral? I mean, she just gave me like 8 ideas, and that it wasn't necessarily things I didn't know. It was just enough of like, she believes I can do this. If she believes I can do this, why do I not believe I can do this? And that's who you want to lock arms with. You want someone So that it is frustrating. You're like, wow, I thought I wrote this great post and nobody has commented on it. To be like, who cares? Just, post again tomorrow. Like, reach out to people, join a new Facebook group. You want someone who's going to just literally remind you of the best version of yourself. That's going to hold that mirror up to you of everything you absolutely want. So as you guys go into celebration, certain things like just like little housekeeping items, like being on time, right? I mean, it's virtual, but you don't want to miss that stuff, like being present, being open, cheering people on, being friendly, all that stuff is going to be there. But I would just tell you to hold on to your freaking seats. Know that there's a promotion around the corner. We all have this brand new product, and this is the launch pad to the strongest Q3 and Q4 you have ever experienced, Isagenix has ever experienced. And we are going to wrap up 2021 as strong as we started it with the collagen. I mean, this elixir game is such an easy conversation, right? The coaching is so easy. It is so fun to share. They are both incredible hot products. And I want you to just really think about where you can be by the time 2022 rolls around, right? Like, what can you really do? What is really possible? And every time you think about holding yourself back, right? Every time that drunken monkey comes in and tells you what you're not able to do, like, lean on someone's story that you met. Lean on the belief of somebody else. Lean on the excitement that you met of somebody else, because that's what we did. And I promise you, there are so many times, like when Jess and I went to our very first event, and you guys heard Jess say this not too long ago, Alexis Romano was the 100th millionaire, and they did this whole big thing. And Jess is like, what are we going to wear when we're on stage? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is our first event. Like, we're never going to be on stage. She's like, really? What are you going to wear? I know I'm not going to wear white. That doesn't always look great. Like, she's having this whole conversation with me, right? And I was like, this lady's nuts, But all of those things have come to fruition. But by the time we left that event, we were like, if that teacher can do it, if that occupational therapist can do it, if that stay-at-home mom can do it, we can do it. And that's why we go to events. It's really to build friendships, it's to encourage each other, it's to learn new skill sets. And we are so excited for all of it. So if you guys do not know, I'm going to be a little bit of a spoiler alert here. Jess, I hope you don't get mad at me. There is free shipping starting on the 31st, and it goes through the following week, but it's only on the elixirs. So it's going to be on the adaptogen elixirs, and it's going to be on the collagen elixirs. All right. I mean, the company is really, really pushing that. And so get people excited about it right now. I mean, while you're on the plane, while you're sitting at the airport, while you're on a shuttle, be messaging people, be messaging your most recent customers to your oldest customer. Hey, I know how much you love the collagen. I know how how thrilled you are with the results.
No idea what I've been going through for the past 14 months.
I'll just mute that. Like something that you know about them, like, hey, I know that you're thrilled with your lashes, or I know that you're thrilled with your hair growth, or I know you're thrilled with your glowing skin, and say, I've got something now to make you feel good. Like 2 shots a day to look glamorous, feel unshakable, feel unstoppable, feel like $1 million, like whatever that is, right? And say, I want to just give you a heads up, there's free shipping, you can place your order at this time. You start doing that now, so that on Saturday night, on Friday night, you get to be with your team. You can go to the Cabana Bar, right? You can go downtown in Denver, like where you guys are going to be, and be present, hang out with people. So do that right now. There's no more secrets, right? You guys know the product, you know what it's about. The company's put a ton of training on how to talk about stress and sleep and energy, things that every single person needs right now. That plant your seeds now so you can be present, and you can just go out and you can have a ton of fun. You guys, if you have any questions at any given time, just ask. Like, literally just ask. I think it's so easy for us to be like, oh my gosh, I'm bugging them, they're too busy. Or, oh my gosh. Now, I'll give you the disclaimer. If you can Google it, don't ask me, right? Like, don't ever ask me how many grams of protein are in the shake, because by the time you ask me, you could have Googled that. That's exhausting. Don't do that. Be an entrepreneur, be self-employed. But if you're asking like, hey, how are you messaging people in Europe right now to get people excited about this? What are you saying? You can't Google that, right? Like, you need us, ask for that. Hey, what did you put out at your, cocktails and collagen party? How did you invite to that? Did you have a flyer? Was it on social media? Like, ask us, ask your team members, because we want you to have huge parties. When Jess went down to Texas and did all those events with Brandy, you guys saw a full house every night. Ask them, message them. What did you say to get that house packed with people? Because I'm going to host an event. Lauren's coming to visit me. How do we pack the house? I mean, literally lean on people so that you can really maximize this. It's going to be an amazing event. I will leave with one final thought. I've never, ever, ever seen a company continue to invest in us, continue to do things so that we have this opportunity, right? Kathy Coover is still on calls. They have promotion after promotion. They have marketing after marketing. They do absolutely everything so that we can run to the top and we can free our families. Be real with yourself and how committed you are and the effort you play at. If you want to treat this like a hobby, don't complain that you're making hobby income. And if you really want things to change and you want this event to be the springboard to the next level, then play a little harder. 10x everything. 10x your posts, 10x your personal development, 10x your reach outs, 10x your follow-ups, 10x your events, and just say for the next 60 days, because I'm earning Lauren's grand prize contest and I am getting a slot in that friggin' mansion that Jessica announced, that you guys need to 10x everything. Have a wonderful night, safe travels, happy celebration. We'll see you guys in a week. Good night.